Okay, so it's Friday, April 7th at 9:06 a.m. I'm here with fellow member Charlie Merrifield. Charlie's been pouring spider waste lately, so he's going to donate some of his time to the club. So thanks to Charlie, we'll be able to have some weights to give out. Let's see, so swell energy is a little over 400. Swell height's about 5 feet. Low tide was about 650. I want to say 650. And it was like a minus 0.2. So we're about almost 2 hours, hour and a half past low tide. And we're going to the south, Wade Creek. Catching conditions look okay today. It's about 46 degrees. It was supposed to rain, hasn't been raining. There's a little drizzle. And I'm thinking winds about 5 miles an hour or less. Oh, I see a bird. That's what I was about ready to say. So we're gonna try the south side today. I've been getting skunked at the north. So we'll try a few casts here. Then we'll work our way down south. So yeah, south looks really dead initially. But I know there's a sandbar out there. I just don't know if I can get to it today. So I'm waiting in for my first cast. Catching conditions actually look pretty good. And there's some birds right here very close to me. So I'm hoping that's a good sign. So the waves look pretty successive and it looks pretty dark. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so my first cast, I can feel rocks here on the bottom. And that's what happens when you come to the south. It's pretty rocky here. So I'm hoping I don't get snagged. My first cast, I could feel my weight hanging against rocks the entire time I was retrieving. So I'm gonna move a little more south. This is my fourth cast. Been here about 15 minutes now. And I was gonna say the first cast I didn't get a snag and I got a snag. But every cast on the south so far I've had a snag. So Charlie moved way back up to the mouth of the creek, or the outlet of the creek. He's trying down there. If I don't find sandy areas soon, I'm gonna start moving north because the wave action on the south looks pretty dead. It's very shallow front and the waves are pretty far out there. So I can't get out to the good waves. So I might head north. Okay, so here's what the conditions look like on the south. You see all this calm water here, and then you see the breaking waves out there. Well, it's that way all the way up and down the beach. And I'd like to get out to that sandbar right where the waves are breaking down closest to me. I'd like to get out there, but there's this trough that runs along this entire beach. So, and with tide coming in, if I went out there, I'd probably get stuck. So, not today. I think I'm gonna head north pretty quick. So I did find a sandy area finally, but it's very shallow here. So if I waited in coming out a little bit more, because tide is coming up pretty quickly, you know, the waves might come closer, but I'm not here very long today. After say 20 minutes, now it's cast 5, but catching conditions on the south look pretty bad. So I'm gonna start heading north. I think Charlie's continuing to make his way north because he looks a lot smaller. So I'm gonna go try on the north side and hopefully find some action. Anyway, that was a good lesson learned. Don't come to the south side of Wade Creek unless tidal height's about 3.5, I would say, to 4.5 feet. I'm guessing tidal height's around 2 feet or a little bit less right now. I'm at a higher tide though. See all these rocks right here that are exposed? So when you're casting from up there down to here, this is what you're gonna run into. So this is my first landmark. You see that cliff that goes like that? That's my first landmark. So you definitely want to go south of this area to avoid these rocks. So that's one of the advantages of coming at low tide. And again, here's another set of rocks that'll be underwater soon. But that's just the advantages of coming at low tide. You get to see what the beach structure looks like and maybe help you prevent losing some rigs next time out. But this is how the south's been the last 4 or 5 years that I've been here, is that during the summer this all gets covered up. During the winter it all gets exposed, and once it gets exposed there's a lot of places where it's snag city. Okay, almost back to the creek. First cast here, and man, catch conditions look so much better up here. Successive crashing waves close by, pretty dark green. So and there was just a little bump of a rock, but mostly it's been sandy so far. All right, we'll see how it goes. Charlie's been moving away from here though, so my guess is he didn't have any action here. First bite on, this is cast number 3 on the north. It was a decent bite, but missed it. So been on the north 10 minutes now, 3rd cast. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Catch conditions are really good. So I'm surprised I'm not getting better action than I am right now. Last few minutes, all of a sudden there's now a really strong drift from left to right. So this wasn't here like five minutes ago, but as I said, tide's changing pretty quick today. So conditions are changing pretty quick. So after the bite, no follow-up action, so I'm going to keep moving, especially with the drift so strong here. So I decided to just keep walking to the north. Let's see how Charlie's going. But I want to go back to the houses. I want to say 2 or 3 trips ago, I had some action down there around the same tidal height. So let's go see how it goes. Had any bites? I have one. Charlie said he's feeling lots of rocks here. So we're just like at the north end of the trees. Okay, I'm going to go up toward the houses.
I thought I might have had one bite, but little.
Yeah, I only got it just on the north. I had nothing on the south.
I've already lost 2 big rocks down there.
Oh, really?
I came up here.
Yeah, no, I can understand why. That's why I moved here too, because of the snags.
I'm like, nope.
Yeah. Okay. So Charlie said he lost 2 rigs on the south. So that's the reason why he moved to the north. But that's why you got to be careful with the south with all the rocks. That's the reason why I moved here. All right, so a little bit of a walk. Just hit the most southern part of the houses. So I'm just going to fish this area for a while and probably call it quits. But catch conditions here look pretty decent. And there's no drift, which is really nice, and no snags, which is even nicer. So we'll see how it goes. But man, it's still a nice day to be standing in the water. Hasn't rained, so breeze hasn't let up, but it hasn't increased either. So it's pretty pleasant right now. All right, that's it for now. Been here now, what, about 55 minutes. Spent the first half an hour on the south, didn't get anything accomplished there other than to learn not to go at certain tides down there, at really low tides. I probably spent about 1/3 of my time walking today, which is unusual for me because normally I just stay in the water and move. But today I wanted to get into some places pretty quickly, so I just walked up to the beach and just went to the mouth, tried a few casts there, tried going to the trees for a little bit, nothing there. So then I walked my way up directly to the houses. An hour now. I want to say I got 5 or 6 casts on the south. You know, basically they're all hitting rocks. And then came to the north. I want to guess I've got in about 8 to 10 casts here, and throughout that time I've only had 1 bite. So it's been pretty slow action today. Conditions on the south were horrible. Conditions on the north actually look decent. So there's been some really good catching conditions here on the north, except for the one place I was at where I had a really strong drift from left to right. But here there's no drift. It's really sandy. Crashing waves within the last 10 minutes have moved out, so it's pushing me up the beach, you know, tide coming in, so the waves are getting harder to hit now. Been here about 1 hour and 15 minutes now, and I'm about just a little north to the houses, and now I'm hitting rocks and getting snagged. So I think that's a sign. Oh, yep, got it loose, but I think that's a sign to quit. So I'm gonna bag it if I can get my rig in. It happened, I didn't feel anything, but all 3 of my worms are gone. Oh, I did get snagged. So maybe the worms came off in the rocks, but all 3 hooks are empty on my last cast. So I think that's a sign. What do you think? I didn't feel a bite, so I'm assuming it wasn't a fish. I'm gonna call it anyway. Come back a different day. All right, let's go say goodbye to Charlie, and I'll do a wrap up. Had any bites, Charlie? No, me neither. Man, catch conditions look up there look really good, but there was the rocks. I got snagged my last cast. I figured that's a sign, man. I ought to take off. I had all 3 of my baits gone though, yeah, but I think it was the snags.
There's somebody else fishing down there.
You know, I bet you the south is probably much better now because the tide has come up. But yeah, I wonder who that is.
A lot of rocks.
Oh man, a lot of rocks, a lot of rocks. I've never had this many snags at Wade Creek before. Oh, there's a vehicle on the beach. Must be, gotta be state. because there's no vehicles allowed here. Yeah, it's the state. I can see the emblem. Man, he's motoring. Well, it's going across the creek. That's cool. Man, I'd love to have that for fishing. That'd be awesome, huh? Okay, just wanted to show you that. So there is someone fishing on the south. If I had the energy, I'd go introduce myself, but I don't have the energy today. I'm beat. Let's do a summary. Was here about an hour and 15 minutes. Spent the first 30 minutes on the south. Charlie lost 2 rigs there. I got snagged on every cast. So Charlie moved to the north immediately, and then I moved to the north after I kept getting snagged. Then I walked around for about 20-25 minutes. So that's about 50 to 55 minutes of my hour to 15. That wasn't very effective fishing time. So I only got about maybe 20-25 minutes of effective fishing time in. So only one bite. I want to say 5 or 6 casts on the south. I want to say about maybe what, 10 casts maybe on the north, maybe a little more. And another skunk day for me. So that's it for today. I hope to come back soon. But it's nice being back in the water.